Hi, I'm Candy Grisham. I want to tell you today about my Modern Dresden Quilt Workshop. This will be an online virtual and online video workshop where we'll learn about how to make the Modern Dresden plate. It can be made in many different sizes, and there's 5 different edge treatments that we'll learn. There's a straight, double points, single points, curves, and 3-sided. I'm the author of the Dresden Quilt Block Reimagined book by C&T Publishing. We can use this book throughout the workshop for more detail and information. There will be complete supply list, and I will tell you all about these different things as we go. I wanted to cover a little bit today some of the supplies that you would need for this in order to complete a project. First and foremost, you're going to need fabric. This can be from your stash, or it can be a select purchase. It can be any colorway. The major thing is you need some contrast. You need some variety. You need to have large prints, small prints. You need lights. You need darks. You need a couple fabrics that will really pop or have some interest to use on your centers. This shows kind of a color palette, the yellows, grays, blacks, and whites. You can limit it to just a small palette like this, but still with your different varieties of prints. You can do bright and floral. You can get as big as you want to. You can use stripes. You can use polka dots. I would probably add a few more solids to this one. You can also go with just very sweet prints. It can be more traditional. You could even do 30s as you go, as long as you get some contrast in there to show the difference between the wedges. You're going to need a rotary cutter system, so your mat, your rotary cutters, your regular one that you use all the time, and then a 28mm or smaller rotary cutter for when we're cutting curves, because we're going to do a few of those. Did I mention all of these are finished by machine? All the edges, all the plates. The only hand sewing you might do is to put the centers on and the blocks on the background, but there are even options to avoid that hand sewing. You're going to need a wedge ruler. This is the one I really like. There are others on the market. This is the Dresden Wedge 18 Degrees by Creative Grid. It has lines marked on it that give you up to 9-inch wedges all the way down, and there's even ways to make them larger. A 9-inch wedge is going to give you a 22-inch plate, so it's pretty big. It also comes with a circle template that we're going to use in order to cut out our centers and to do some of our curved piecing. You need some kind of a clipper. This is a little seam ripper stand that I make that lets us clip all the threads when you're chain piecing, because you're going to do some of that. This saves on thread, it saves on time, and you always know where your seam ripper is. You're going to need some kind of a template. It can be a homemade one, it can be a commercial one that's going to let us press and keep our points very, very symmetrical. I'll show how to make this one later. You can also use the Hot Hammer by Clover or Susan Cleveland's Prairie Point. You're going to, of course, need an iron and then some kind of a pressing ham. This is one I make out of a banister rail that has a flat bottom on it and a curved top. We're going to lay our seams over this and press our seams open. It's not as bad as it sounds. It works really well. You're going to need some freezer paper from the grocery store. You're going to need a Teflon pressing sheet to keep your iron protected, and you're going to need some fusible web. This is a Pellon 906F as in Frank. It's a one-sided, very sheer, lightweight fusible. We're going to use it for some of our centers and some of our facings. So I hope you will join me. We will have a blast. It is so much fun to make these. They're unique, they're going to be yours, and the projects will be wonderful. So I'll see you on the other side.